Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. Today's mug is hard to read, but it reads fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalms 159 and 14. Just a great reminder for all of us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. So, this morning's topic, don't skip the process of laughing in the rain. Don't skip the process of laughing in the rain. Now, I know that there are songs out there about dancing in the rain. Y'all know that dancing, I've told y'all before, is not my gifting. Laughing, however, is. And I have found laughter to be what the Word of God says that it is, like medicine. When the rains of life come, let's laugh in the rain. But it's a process. So we're going to talk about that process this morning. Make no mistake, the rain will come. If we are human and we stay human all of our lives, which we will, rain will come. Rainy seasons happen in everyone's life. And I'm not talking about the rain that comes down from the clouds. I'm talking about the rain that comes in the form of lifing. When life is lifing, that's the rain of life. And it happens to all of us. None of us escape life without some rain coming. So just one, acknowledging that it's going to come and not pretending that it won't is the first step to the process of laughing in the rain, is admitting and acknowledging in everyone's life some rain is going to fall. But don't skip the process of rain, because growth happens in the mud. Now, when I was a kid, one of my favorite pastimes was right after rain, especially on days where it rained early, and then the sun was gonna come out and get really hot in the summer. It would start. People were like, I hate that because it creates like a mugginess. But I used to like that when I was a kid, because when I would hear it raining in the morning and I knew that the forecast said it was going to be sunshiny, I knew that was my day, that I was going to convene all my friends and we were going to make some mud pies. Don't ask me why I like mud pie making, but I did as a kid, because I would wait for the rain. And then I would go out there and it was so much easier to get the dirt into the pie pans when it was already mud. It was hard to dig it up when it was bone dry and put it in there and then add some water. I like my mud ready made. I didn't want to make it. And so what I understand about the growth that happens in the mud is that when you plant flowers that need to grow, they need a little mud. You grow most when things are a little messy. When we get obsessed with fast facts and fast results and instant clarity and quick wins, I got folk in my life who always looking for the shortcut and always trying to get that quick win. But breakthroughs, real ones, are born in the long, uncomfortable, and sometimes unclear seasons of life. Let the process do its work, y'all, even when it's hard, even when you don't see the purpose yet. Because what's muddy today, what I knew is that it might be muddy right now, but eventually I was clear that the sun was coming out. Good morning, Jackie. The sun was going to come out. And once it did, that mud pie would bake to its right consistency. But we got to remember that, yeah, rain is coming. Growth happens in the mud. Find joy during and not just after the season of rain. Sometimes I've heard people say, girl, when this season is over, I'm going to be happy. But right now, mm, mm, mm. But after this season, I don't know about you, but I don't want to live my life for the next season. I want to enjoy the season even when it's not good. Because when I acknowledge that even when it's not good, I'm still happy, I acknowledge, or I'm still joyful, I acknowledge that even when life isn't good, my God still is. Even when life isn't good, my God still is. So no, I'm not going to be happy when it's over. I'm going to choose to have joy in the midst of the rain. When I can laugh in the middle of pain, you know what I'm telling the world and what I'm telling the enemy? Even your rain ain't bigger than my God. Even your rain ain't bigger than my God. And even if life ain't good, my God is. That's not faking it. I'm not faking it till I make it. I do serve a God that no matter what life is throwing at me, he still chooses to be good to me. And that's the difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is predicated on people's situations, but joy comes from the source. And so, in the seasons of my life, when my life has been tragic, there were times when I still had joy. When I buried my mother, and the next day I'm standing on the beach looking at the vastness of the ocean, giving praise and honor to God for the life of a woman whose trajectory spiritually made my presence in God possible. It gave me a sense of joy even in the midst of immense pain. And finally, don't be afraid to tell your stories about and in the rain, because sometimes if we're obedient and we tell our stories of rainy seasons, everybody likes to tell their sunshiny mountaintop stories. But if we're obedient and we are willing to be vulnerable and tell the stories of rain in our lives, do you know that your rain and your story of rain gives other people hope that they can survive their rainy seasons too? Not your perfection, not the mask that you put on to pretend that life has never been hard or ever been bad, but your honesty. When you laugh through the tears, your courage to stand in the rain and still smile. That's what helps people believe that they can laugh in the rain too. So I'm closing, and I'm hoping that you're having an amazing day. Good morning, Ms. Brown. Good morning, Erica. I'm hoping that you're having an amazing day. But whatever you do, don't skip the process of laughing in the rain. Acknowledge that rain is going to come. Recognize that growth happens in the mud. Find joy during the rain, not just after, because when you do, you acknowledge that your God is bigger than the rain. And finally, let your story in the rain become somebody else's umbrella of hope. I'm the amazing T Street, but you know what? Absolutely positively nothing amazing in me. That's not in each and every one of you. So whatever you do, if you're going through a season of rain, don't skip the process of laughing in the rain. Have an amazing day.